big welcome to the Authors Studio to Lindsey Davis, former Crime Writers Association Dagger winner and author of great historical novels set in ancient Rome. Let's see what she has to tell us.
My one writing tip that counts above all others is finish it. I suppose I love them all at the time that I'm writing them and when they're new, but the one that has to count most is The Silver Pigs, my very first Falco novel, my first published novel. And really it was the novel where I encountered my own style, especially the jokiness of Falco, which has carried over into Albia. So I established myself with that. I think there are two things that can come into play. Mainly, I can tell on the first page I will like the subject and the author's style, and it will draw me in. Very occasionally you can be fooled by that, by some wicked author who in fact then becomes more turgid than you expected, and after a section you give up. Mostly though I can tell on page one. I write in my study at my house, and that is my workroom. It doesn't have anything else going on there. I write mostly in the afternoon. It takes me most of the day to work up to doing it, but then I don't mess about. It's all good stuff. I don't believe in saying a book inspired me, because the danger is that people will then think you modelled your own writing on that. Every book that I had ever read, and I was a big reader from as soon as I learned to read, every book has influenced me in some way. I'm not going to tell you. There's no point having a guilty pleasure that you tell everybody about. I did always want to be an author, though I didn't think you were allowed to do it. And of course, people in publishing frequently said, don't expect to earn your living this way. But yes, I was good at writing stories, and it always struck me that that would be the most wonderful life to have, as it has been. I don't know what planning is really. I like to sit down and start and think, where are we going now? What's going to happen? Who are we going to meet? And have the same expectation and discovery that a reader will have. The only thing that I do in the way of planning is that when I'm about 9/10 or maybe even a little bit further of the way through, I have lots of pieces of paper upon which I've written all the things that need to be tied up in the last section, which is very quick to write because I have a list of things. But other than that, I would be bored if I planned it, and I would never write the book. Yes, I have lost work, and terrible it was. I think I back up. I'm not 100% sure that I understand how I do that technically, but one thing I do is to print off the novel, because when you lose it, it will always be 5 pages from the end. It is never 5 pages in. I hope readers will take away a fun experience. Perhaps they will have been informed. Certainly I hope they have been engrossed, but mainly I write to give them pleasure. Sometimes it's even very extreme if somebody is very ill, or looking after somebody who's very ill. So in that case they take away a kind of solace, which is wonderful to think about and terrifying to think about if you're an author. But mostly I want them to be entertained. It's fun. It's different from anything else. You will be really glad you read it because it will have entertained you so much.
Thank you, Lindsey Davis. Fascinating. I'm always in awe of historical novelists as to how they do their research. Stay tuned for lots more authors coming up.